Hello.
Derek said that.
What's that?
They're anxious to play.
Yeah, we've been playing each other now, 22 practices. So I think they're just about, ready to, put it out there against somebody else, and we'll see. We're still trying to evaluate who's in that top 6, 7, 8. Who is it? So we get another look. The scrimmage kind of put out one thing. Well, let's see it against somebody else. See how guys do.
Cal, Derek said that he thinks your expectations for his freshman season maybe have changed because you didn't know initially really how good he was.
He didn't know how good he was. He's playing in the best shape he's ever been in. He's more physical than he's ever been. He's driving balls through bumps, which I've never seen him do. And he's not shooting bailout threes, like I'm just going to come down and jack this one. He's playing within how we're playing. He still scores. He's rebounding the ball. You would think he'd be physically challenged in some of these practices. He figures out ways. So I think he's better than he thought. I see him better than I thought, and it's good for him.
You said the other night, I've got this guy, this guy, this guy, and this guy, but what do you do with Derek Willis? What do you do with Derek Willis?
We'll have to figure it out as we go. He's deserving of playing time, but there are a lot of guys deserving of playing time, and now we just got to figure out how it all lays out. The great news is everybody's challenged. You have guys playing really well, where now all of a sudden I'm in my office at 10:30 and I hear thump, thump, thump. The guy playing against that guy, now he's in the gym saying, I got to get some extra work, and this guy's really playing well. That's pretty good for us.
You mentioned you haven't done much defense, but since last Tuesday, how much of that has picked up in practice?
Well, the one thing that we do when you're talking dribble drive and you're talking getting to the basket, you're always working on defense in that you got to guard a guy driving by yourself. It's the hardest thing in basketball to teach. Teaching them how to play screens, pick and rolls, post-ups, cross screens, that means a couple guys together guarding. But when you're having to guard like we do off the dribble, as much as we play that way, they're getting better now. We've started covering the other things, and I'll be honest with you that when I saw in the scrimmage, we defended pretty well. The only thing we didn't guard is the three. And what's damaging for us is most teams are going to try to beat us by sagging, playing zone, using clock, and shooting threes. And that's how they'll play us. I don't think they're going to go in a wide open game with us. I don't think they're going to stretch out the man-to-man defense. You can't. So we've got to make sure we're guarding that three better.
I'd say you're going to, on a lot of the playing time, figure out things as it goes. Do you have an idea in your head of how it might go, or do you want to have no idea and have a blank slate and just see?
Well, it's not a blank slate. Obviously, you saw a scrimmage, and I kind of threw a group out there that I thought should be playing together. And then all of a sudden, Dominique and Derek play out of their minds. Now, what happens is it's all good in practice and drills and all that, but when you put people in the seats and it's on television to 10 states and there's 15,000 fans, all of a sudden, and it sets the Guinness World Book of Records, that you now see who performs when the numbers are on the back and the lights are on. And those two stepped up. I thought Marcus Lee did fine. Marcus got confused. He was on the white team. I put him on the blue team, and he's on the blue team throwing to the white team. And I didn't even get mad about it because I knew what he was doing. After he threw it, he went, oh, he looked at his jersey, I'm blue. So, that's when we were switching guys in and out. It's amazing they could remember what team they were on.
Cal, how is Andrew with the knee?
It's a bone bruise, and he's got to take time. And right now it's good because Aaron's playing point. It's given us a chance to look at James Young playing both the 2 and the 3. Now it gives us a chance to maybe put other guys at the 3, try Julius at the 3. Dakari gives us a different look as a big player, more of a scorer than Willie is. Willie's more of an athlete and, active, and, we kind of got a good kind of mix, but it's, right now with him being out, one guy's misery is another guy's blessing, another guy's opportunity, and that's what's happened for
Will
us.
he sit out tomorrow night?
I don't know yet. I haven't seen him.
You mentioned Tuesday a little bit. You don't want to play 11 guys, ideally. Could you elaborate a little bit on?
Well, you'd like to play your whole roster because you're up 35. And then you put all those guys in. But the reality of it is, I think you stretch it unless you figure out a way of playing more than 7 or 8. And then you got to figure out. Now, if I had a veteran team, it wouldn't really matter. But when you have young guys trying to figure each other out, you can't keep throwing more to the mix. You got to figure out these 6 or 7. And that group's got to get good. It's not just throwing, you can't do it that way. How I figure that out, part of it is in practice. Part of it's going to be in these games.
Cal, last year, one of your big emphasis was guys talking to each other on the floor. How is this?
Way better. Way better. They're into each other. They're into each other pretty good. They do some of it naturally, and James needs to talk more. He's a little uncomfortable with it, but he's doing fine. I told James yesterday, from what I see, he's got to be DeAndre Liggins and Michael Kidd. What did those two do for us?
Defend, rebound.
They defend. Okay, who did they defend? The best player. So if James Young, the way if I make him guard that best player, maybe a point guard, maybe a guy running off 50 screens, what is that going to do to his offense? It's going to take that back a little bit. What's it going to do to his minutes? Now, are you willing to sacrifice, or are you going to get in the shape of your life to play this way? Are you okay doing it? And then I told the twins, and if he's out there going nutty and you think you're taking time off, you're out. I'll play somebody else. Now you become great interceptors. You become guys that can really take some chances. So we've got a lot of things we're still trying to figure out.
How much do you enjoy the legitimate threat of taking away playing time after not really having that as much last year?
I don't enjoy, I don't play mind games. I don't try to trick the other coach. I don't try to trick my players. We did yesterday. We practiced. I put one team down 12 against the other team. Fight. That's a bad shot. You can't afford to take a bad shot. You got to come down and stop. Why'd you stop playing? You gave him another basket. Now you can't win. And then, as it went on and guys got tired, a couple guys couldn't do it. They just caved in. A couple other guys stepped up. I only need 5 or 6 to be able to step up in those environments, and we'll be fine. You other guys won't play. But that's okay. You make that choice. So you got to do it in here. You're making choices. You battle, do you fight, or do you kind of cave in? And the great news is they all see it. I don't pick who plays and who doesn't play. I mean, if I asked you right now who should start on my team, you guys are all going to say the same guys. And if I said who's the 6th man or 7th man, probably the same. You may switch it. If I say 8th or 9th, okay, now that may switch. But those 6, you guys have an idea who they are. I don't. You watched. Do you not watch the game? Some of you don't watch the game. You act like you watch, but you don't even watch. You're writing your story, and did this happen? Because I just wrote this way. Okay. But if you watch the game, you'd be able to figure it out, like, wait a minute, this is who I like.
Is it a coin flip right now between Willie and Dakari at that spot just because they're so different?
They're both going to play. They don't have to worry about it. I mean, they're both going to be playing. We'll play different when Willie's in the game compared to when Dakari's in the game. But they're both playing. And they can play together because Willie can play the 4.
Do you like that if you have a team that starts trying to slug you, that you put a guy like Dakari in there?
Okay, let's talk about slugging. One, if you slug this year, last year you could slug and play and win and do all that. You can't slug this year. So now slugging means you foul. Second thing, who you slugging? Julius? Are you going to slug one of those twins? The problem is if you slug one, 2 come back at you. So I don't know who you're slugging. Now all of a sudden, you slugging Alex? I mean, we're a different team. We look in the warm-up line. When we went to where did we play? Oh, when we went to Robert Morris. I looked at their line and I said, we can't win this game. Look at those guys. So I'm hoping there's a few coaches that look in this warm-up line and say, oh my gosh, you're not. I can't imagine. Well, you can't play the way you used to play, which is just beat the other team up. We're going to grab and hold and ride and put our arms up and hip the guy out of bounds. You can't do any of that anymore. It's all fouls.
You got any sense from practice or the scrimmage that Aaron can play some lead guard for you?
He's doing great. The only thing that's hard, you have to attack and keep your teammates involved. What do you mean? Attack! Come on, why didn't you pass that ball over there? You're telling me to attack. I need you to attack, but I need you to find him. Did you know he didn't touch the ball the last few times down? No. Well, you got to know that. You're playing this position. Then he leaves the gym saying, my brother's position is harder than I thought. It's a tough position, especially playing for me and the way we play. I put a lot on the guy's shoulders. He's making his own calls. This is like a quarterback going out there, and we talk about the game plan, and then he makes the calls. It's a hard deal.
You ran a little two-man game with Julius, I think, towards the end of that scrimmage that you really liked, that seemed to like in the sideline.
Yeah, you know, Julius they can all play together. I mean, I thought they all played off of one another pretty good. Well, we're going to try different lineups. I'm going to try a different lineup today. I'm also going to go, you know, at one point we were like 6'10", 7 foot, 6'9", 6'7", 6'6". What? I want to have a pressing lineup. I want to try a couple kids in today that we can pick up and press without fouling. We don't need to grab you and hip check you and grab you and forearm you. And we can press you because of our length, which is what they're telling us to do. So we can do all that stuff. So we will see. I was proud of the fact that we ended the game with 10 fouls on each side for a game, and where everyone else is scrimmaging and they're writing about 80 fouls, 90 fouls called, 60 foul calls. Well, what they told us to do, basically it's how we always play though, but when you don't foul, there's body-to-body contact unless he runs at you and you have your hands up. We don't want to foul. It's not football. We don't have to march 100 yards to score. They score one, okay. Now score in 5 seconds. Did that really hurt? It's not football.
It's gonna be hard to put that.
And I'm glad it's not football and us having to be in the SEC playing football.
It's gonna be hard to put that genie back in the bottle.
What, Gene? No, the officials are going to call the things, and, you know, the good news is all the propaganda and all the other stuff, they're calling them. So you can say you hate it, you like it, you don't. It doesn't matter. Your team's got to play. And now we're going to see, and I believe everybody will adjust. I believe the coaches will. I believe the players will. I think scoring will go up. I think early there'll be a lot of fouls by the coaches that weren't adjusting. But the coaches that adjusted will, you know, maybe it'll be 50 fouls on one team and 12 on another. One coach did what he was supposed to, the other didn't. So, should be fun though. Thanks, guys.
Coach
Mitchell will be up next.